Hello guys, today we're going to be doing division of whole numbers. Division of whole numbers. Now last we talked about multiplication of whole numbers, and we learned the fundamentals of how you multiply whole numbers. So today we're going to do the division of whole numbers. So division of whole numbers. Say you have 4 divided by 2. How do you write this? 4 divided by 2. I'm going to write it in English. 4 divided by 2. So that's how we write in English. 4 divided by 2. And that means we write 4 divided by, which is the sign, 2. The answer to this question is 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And sometimes we can write 4 divided by 2 like this. It's also 2. Another time we can also write it, another way we can write that, we can write it as like this. We'll write something like this, put 4. I'll put 2 right here. And we'll say 4 divided by 2, 2 divided by 4 is 2. So that's one way we can write it. But what does this really mean when we say divided by? So, for example, if we have, what this really means is how many sets, when we say 4 divided by 2, what we are really saying is how many sets of 2 can we find in 4? Again, how many sets of 2 can we find in 4? That's what we're saying. So, assuming we have, and what I mean by that is, if I draw 4 strokes, I draw 4 strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want 2 sets of strokes. How many 2 sets of strokes can I find in 4 strokes? So I find this one in 2 sets, and this another 2 sets. So now I have 1, 2. So I have 2 sets of strokes. 2 sets of strokes. So that's what division is actually saying when we say 4 divided by 2. What we're really saying is how many sets of 2s can we find in 4? So that is 4 divided by 2. So that is, you have 4 here. You have 4 strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 2 sets. Let's make another example. Let's see if this is always true. So we have, say we have 18 divided by 2. I know that 18 divided by 2 is 9. Let's also do 18 divided by 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay. Let's do 15 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. But how did we get this number? How did we know that this number is 9 if we do 18 divided by 2? Right? So 18 divided by, so you write this way, 18 divided by 2. That's how you write it. And it's 9. 18 divided by 3 is also written as 18 divided by 3, and that is 6. And then you have 15 divided by 5, that is 3. Okay, that is one way to write it. And because we're doing whole numbers, we're going to write this way. But I'm also going to show you another way that this number can be written. Okay, so how do we know that 18 divided by 2 is 9? Suppose I draw 18 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I said 18 divided by 2, which means I'm going to do 2 sets. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have this 2 here, 9. So if I count the sets of 2, I have 9. The same thing for 18 divided by 3. If I have 18 divided by 3, I draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 18 strokes. If I do divide by 3, which is 3 sets each, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we can do the same thing for 15 divided by 5. So what I'm trying to say is, when we say division of whole numbers or division of a number, when we say 18 divided by 2, what we are actually saying is how many sets of this number can you find in this number. So if I say m divided by n, what I'm saying is how many sets of n can we find in m. That's what we're saying. Okay, so that is one way for division. But what if the division we're talking about is not gives us a remainder? How do we know that? Okay, so let's go to our example. Under example 6 divided by 3. We'll write it as 6 divided by 3. But we can also write it as 6 divided by 3 this way. Some people write it as this. They put 6 and they put 3. So you can write it many ways. Let's say we write it this way, 6 divided by 3. So if you write it this way, we say 3 divided by 6 is 2. Okay? And since 3 divided by 6 is 2, we have no remainder, so we have remainder is 0. Okay? You can also write it this way and say 3, 6. And you say 6, 3 divided by 6 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And then you have 6 minus 6 is 0. Okay, so you have 2 remainder 0. So this is 0. So that's one way to do division. While we're growing up, that's one way to do it. So the reason why I brought this up is, if you're given a number, say you're given 7 divided by 2. If we use our definition of division, we draw 7 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're looking for how many sets of 2 can we find in 7. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. So this is just 1, so there's no set here. So we have 3. Our answer is going to be 3, remainder 1. Okay, so we have 3, remainder 1. Some people use small letter, some people use capital letter. It doesn't matter. So we have 3, remainder 1. Okay, so when you say 7 divided by 2, you can only have 3 sets. You're going to have 1 remaining. Let's do another example. Assume you're given 9 divided by 4. What is 9 divided by 4? That is 9 divided by 4. What is that? So assuming you do, draw 9 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 4 sets. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 sets of 9. So you only have 1 there. So that means that 9 divided by 4 will give you 2, remainder 1. You're going to have 1 stroke left. So we use R. The R means remainder. That's what the R means. So we have remainder 1. So 9 divided by 4 is 2, remainder 1. Okay. Since we're doing whole numbers, we're not going to go into decimal. because when we're going to decimal, non-whole numbers, then we're not going to write it this way. In your ACT exam, you're not going to write 2 remainder 1 if you give you 9 by 4. You're going to write it a different way. But for right now, since we're still learning whole numbers, that's going to be our answer. So 9 divided by 4 is 2 remainder 1. And how you do it, you say 4 sets in 9. So you have 4. So you have 2 4 sets, and then you have 1 remaining. So let's do one more example. Assuming you have 5 divided by 3. 5 divided by 3 is written as 5 divided by 3. Okay, so you draw 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 by 3 means how many 3 sets can you find in 5? So let's do 1, 2, 3. That's 1 set. So you can only have 1 set, and you're going to have 2. So you're going to write this as 1 remainder 2. So 5 divided by 3 is 1 remainder 2, because you're going to have 2 left. We have 1 set of 3, and you have 2 left. So in the previous example, I gave you another way you can do division, which is you can do it this way. You say 5 here and 3. So you say 3 divided by 5 is 1. So you have 1 here. Then you say 3 times 1 is 3. Okay. So you put a minus here. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So the way you write that, this is your remainder. So your remainder is going to be here. That's your remainder, and this is your main number. So your answer is going to be 1. This 1 here. This 1. Remainder 2. This 2 right here. Okay. So that's another way you can do division. I'm going to do more example of that. So you're given 9 divided by 3. You can write as 9 divided by 3, which is 3. And you can do that by using the sets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and get 3 sets of stroke. 1, 2, and 3. So you have 3. There's no remainder. You can also do it this way. Like I said earlier on, you have 9 and you have 3. 3 in 9 is 3. Like we did. 3 times 3 is 9. So you have 9 minus 9, and that will give you 0. So there's no remainder. Okay. Another example, one final example I'm going to do, and then move to the next topic. One final example. Assuming you're given 7 divided by 2. So we know 7 divided by 2. The answer should be, you do the same streaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many set of 2s can you find in this stroke? So you have 1, you have 2, you have 3. So you have 3, remainder 1. Okay, using the other method I told you about, you can have 7 here, you have 2 here, and then you say 7 divided by 2. And you use this method if you're trying to find the remainder. So 7 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so you write 3 here. 2 times 3 is 6. So you write 6 here. So you have 7 minus 6, you have 1. So that means your answer is going to be 3 remainder 1. Okay, so that's how you do division. So now you can do division on any number. Let's go to division of double digits. So assuming you have 25, because we've been doing single digits, assuming you have 25 divided by 5. You don't want to draw 25 strokes, because that will be a waste of your time. So we're not going to use the strokes that we did earlier. So you have 25 divided by 5. Our answer is 5, but how did we get 5? Okay, so 5 times 5 is 25. So that you know 25 divided by 5 is going to be 5. Okay, but you can also use the formula I told you about, which is the method I told you about, which is you have your 25 here, and you have your 5 here. Okay, and when you say 5 divided by 25, you have 5. And then you say 5 times 5 is 25. So now you minus the number, 25 minus 25 is going to give you 0. So your answer is 25 divided by 5 is 5, remainder 0. So it's actually just 5. Okay, so that's how you do double digits. You want to find the remainder. There are other ways you can also do it, but this is the simplest method for that if you have double digits. As time goes on, you can start doing more advanced version of that. And the advanced version of that is when you have more than 2 digits. So you have an example. You want to divide 250 divided by 5. So you write this as 250 divided by 5. So how do you do this mathematics? Okay, so because you have 250 divided by 5, first thing first you want to do is you want to say 5 divided by 25. So you have 5 divided by 25 will give you 5. Okay, it's going to give you 5. And then you have 0. So therefore, your answer is going to be 50. Okay, that's going to be your answer. Your answer is going to be 50. But 5 divided by 0 is 0. So you have 50. So that's your answer is 50. But what if you give an example? For example, you're giving you actually divide 126 divided by, say, 3, for example. So you write that as 126 divided by 3. So let's do that example. 126 divided by 3. So as I said in the previous example, you're going to take the first two numbers first. 3 divided by 12 is 4. So you're going to write 4. And then 3 divided by 6 is 2. So you're going to write 2. Okay. And you can do this simply by saying 12 strokes. Okay. And then you do 3 sets that you can find in 12. That will give you 4. And then the same thing for 6. That will give you, so your answer is going to be 42. Okay. But what if you're giving a different number? So we're doing simple examples right now. We're doing examples that will give you whole numbers, because we're working on whole numbers. So let's clear this off. What if you are giving, assuming you're giving 535 divided by 5. Okay, 535 divided by 5. How do you solve that? Again, when you start your division, you start with the first two numbers. 5 divided by 53 is what? We do not know. So we can say, what's the closest whole number that we know that 5 can divide? And that is 50. So 5 can go in 50. And that is 10. Okay, that is 10. So that's one way you can do it. You can say 5 can go in 50, 10. Okay, and 5 times 10 is 50. So you're going to have a remainder of 3, because this is 53. We don't want 50. We want 53. Okay, so when you do that, your answer is going to be 3. It's going to be added to this right here. So you're going to have 35. So 5 into 35 is going to be 7. Does that make sense? So your answer in that case is going to be 5 in 5, 1. Okay. 0. Okay. And then 35, you have 7. Okay. Does that make sense? So 5 in 53 is 10. You're going to have 3 left, because you're going to have 3, because 5 times 10 is 50. So you have 50, and you have 53. So your remainder there is 3. That 3 you put beside your 5, so you have 35. So 5 and 35 is 7. Okay, so that's how you do that. I'm going to do one more example, and then I'm going to move on to the next topic. So let's do one more example. say we have 432 divided by 2. So how do you solve this? 432 divided by 2. So you have 432 divided by 2. So you have 2 divided by 4 is 2. So you're going to write 2. 2 divided by 3 is 1. You're going to have a remainder. So you're going to have 1. You're going to have a remainder, which is 1. So add that 1 to this, you're going to have 12. So you now have 2 divided by 12 is 6. So 432 divided by 2 is 216. But let's do it the simpler way, okay? Let's do the simpler way right now. So the simpler way to do that is you write 4, 2, okay, like I showed you earlier, 432 and you write 2. So the first one will say 2 in 4 is 2. So write 2, okay? And then 2 times 2 is 4. So write 4 right here, okay? And then when you write the 4, write 0, 0. So write 0, 0. So now what you want to do is you want to subtract. You want to subtract 432 from 400. So if you do that, you're going to have 0, you're going to have 3, you're going to have 2. You're not done yet because this number is not the simplest number. So you're going to say 2 in 3. 2 in 3, 2 divided by 3, sorry, 3 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 1. So you're going to have 2 divided by 3 is 1. Okay. So 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm going to write 2 right here. Okay. And then put 0 right here. Okay. So when you do that, don't forget to put 0 here also. So that way it's complete. So now you want to minus again 32 from 12. When you minus 32 from 12, what you get is you have 1 and 2. So now 2 divided by 12 is 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. So write 12 right here. So again, do your subtraction. So 12 minus 12 is 0. So therefore, you go into the end because you have 0 now, so you can stop there. So that means that 432 divided by 2 is 216. Okay, let's do another example. A final example. So you are given 228 divided by 3. So you write 228, okay, and you write 3 right here, okay. So you can't say 3 divided by 2 right here. You're going to say 3 divided by 22. So 3 divided by 22 is 7. You're going to have a remainder. We're going to have one remainder, so we'll write 7 right here, okay? So 3 times 7 is 21, so write 21 right here. 2, 1, and then put a 0 behind it, okay? So now, if you do your subtraction, 228 minus 210, it's going to give you 1 and 8, okay? Put 0 right here. So 3 in 18 is 6, so put your 6 right here. So you have 3 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18. So write 18 right here and then minus it, your second subtraction. Okay. So 18 minus 18 is 0. So that means that 228 divided by 3 is equal to 76. And there is no remainder. Okay. The remainder is 0. You know. So there are many ways that this question can be asked of you in ACT. They can say which of the following numbers can be divided without the remainder, or which of the following numbers have a remainder that is 5, x, y, z. There are many ways it can be asked, but if you understand this simple process, then it's easy for you to ask those questions. I'm answered all those questions. So I hope you understand the idea behind division of whole numbers. If you don't, leave a comment. Let me know if you understand it. If it's too complicated, or if I make it too complicated, let me know, and I'll be sure to respond and make it even clearer. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.